Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the series, which has been one of the more successful series that I've done in EU4. Well, actually, that's a little bold, Lord Master, because this is your first/second series, because you're doing this concurrently with Croatia, so success tends to vary and whatnot. So, I mean, here's the difference, the identity of the two playthroughs. In the Croatian series, they decide to become a global trade empire and whatnot, whereas in the Mughals we're just mainly a land empire rather than an overseas empire, because we are bound by missions and all that. Especially, we're still trying to, conquer the Central Deccan, which Mysore needs to be taken. Yes, just only Mysore. And of course the Coromandel coast of the Carnatic areas, Madura, Tanjore, and Kongu areas also have to be taken. Basically all of the remaining parts of Andhra Pradesh and Tamil Nadu. Basically, completing that, this will give us another mission, and that is to have a viceroy of the Deccan, which the event will happen, and we'll see what we do with that and all that. Vijayanagar is allied with Ui and Assam, so it would be wise to declare war against Assam, despite the fact that we positioned our troops over in Ava, which they are currently allied with Changshan, which is a little state over there, which is fine and all. And what else? Alright, everybody is outraged, which means they will try to form a coalition against us, but no country has ever formed a coalition against the Mughal Empire, because who in the right mind would want to do that? But I can tell you this. We have 108 units of infantry, 17 of which are of the Rajput regiments. We have 59 units of cavalry and 47 units of artillery, and I thought about increasing the size of artillery a little more, as the age of absolutism will be coming to an end soon, and we'll be entering into the age of revolutions in this episode. And let me be honest with you people, I actually recorded more episodes of Croatia than I did with Mughals. Not because I have a preference of it, it's because I have a habit of doing this. As this is on the year of 1707, which, I'm going to say this very briefly, regarding Mughal history, that is the year that Aurangzeb died. The last, and he was the last of the effective Mughal emperors, and not to mention the most controversial ruler in Indian history. But after him, in actual Mughal history, the empire went on a steady decline for a myriad of reasons, a number of them. Which of course would not get into that here because it would be too much time to be taken up. Even if you want to know what was the fate of the Mughal Empire, which, I mean, they stuck around for about another 150 years. Yeah, they stayed around for another 150 years, even though for about a good, I would say, like say 1770s all the way to 1858, it was basically a rump state, only consisting of Delhi. Not to mention figurehead monarch instead of an absolute monarch like we have now here, and all that. Anyways, get back to Croatia. Yes, I have a habit of doing, let's record 50 years of this playthrough, and then we go back here and record another 50. Even though some of you people thought I'm recording like Croatia today, and on the same day record Mughals. No, I record a bunch of Croatian episodes for the week, and then for this week I'm recording some of the Mughals, and we'll continue on into the next week as well, since I've recorded so many of them, and we'll continue to keep up on that and such. And what else? Oh, of course. I stopped at 1757, I think. Well, that's where I stopped for the Croatian portion of the series. So I have prior experience of what the Age of Revolution is going to be like. And I'm going to apply this lesson for the Mughals. Like, if you see a country go revolutionary, the Mughals will never go revolutionary. We will do our damnedest to keep the traditions alive, because if I were to go revolutionary, I would be losing the Mughal Divan system, the Mansab Dowry system, and the Zabt system. Especially the Divan system that assimilates cultures into administration. That's what made this empire an Indian empire, basically. And not to mention, when we get down to Lanka and assimilate the Sinhalese people down there, we will be having more production efficiency, as we are an economic powerhouse, as I once described. As we are #1 of the great powers of the world, but I am looking to be a economic hegemon in the long run, and all that. Okay, finished texting to my friend and one of the many viewers who watched this. Maybe that person watches more of the Croatian series than with the Mughals, not because of preference, just what they're exposed to first. But still. Oh, and before I will go on this episode to fight against Vijayanagar and Ava, possibly 2 at once, may never know, I get overconfident, because we know that other ally over there is not that powerful either, unless they bring mercenaries along. What is the future for the Lord Master channel? That's what I thought about. It's like, okay, you are almost getting close to... it's almost getting close to, you know, the end, because the end date of EU4 is 1821, and you're in 1700s now. So when both Croatia and the Delhi Mughal series finished, I will not be doing any more EU4 series for the remainder of 2021, because, you know, there's the reason why I did 2 of them in the first place. It's like where I would do with one, and then I decide, okay, let's do a second one in this same year. How about let's do 2 in 1? And plus, there's no announcement for any newer big updates or DLCs upcoming for EU4 at this time. And such. And not to mention, around this fall, I don't know if it'll be on September or October, that Crusader Kings 3 will be having its next DLC and big update regarding Royal Court. So I think by September, these 2 EU4 series will be finished by then. And no, I have not abandoned on the CK2 Gupta series, even though it's on the verge of being finished, but I want to dedicate more time to EU4 first. And then I will get back to Crusader Kings 2, just to get that old habit back in. And then I'll start playing Crusader Kings 3 more regularly. And we'll start recording about a week or 2 once their DLC and their update comes out. And I will explain more details of what I would be. But for now, let us focus on EU4 for the next couple of weeks and in the remainder near future of late August and into early to mid-September. Because, you know, this is going through the 1700s and into the first 21 years of the 1800s to end the playthrough is going to be a bit of a long haul. And of course, me talking to you all that details is a long haul, so we're ready for war. These 3 armies here, well, 4. Well, I got a clue of how this is going to work. Because we want to control Burma. Control this area and Shan culture. Shan. Okay. The Chin culture, Kachin. Jin. Just wondering regarding cultural assimilation, because when we get all the Burmese cultures around, the Burman culture, 16 out of 21. Karen, Kachin. What is what? That's Karen. That's Arakanese, which we have all of them. There's the Burmese, the Chin, the Kachin, which we have to fight against Tuangu in the future again. Which, quite honestly, shouldn't be too difficult, but here's one problem. Ayutthaya. It's a tributary. It was that one country that gave us a bloody nose. Until we gave them a lashing back at them. And all that. Oh, you do not have the money and you're at war. Okay. So these armies will remain in position when we face Vijayanagar, as they're not as strong as they used to be. We've also upgraded the navy to modern standard. So the navy will not be used at this time. So fight this war first and deal with the other, and then it'll be done. Then move the armies up this way to face Assam. The other armies will remain to deal with them. Or maybe one army to deal with Assam to cover the ground. And then Vijayanagar, that will be sure to try to take as much land as possible, as they are not as well developed some areas, which could be easy to take. And one day get the Sinhalese, so I could see this. Complete these two missions and we'll finish off what's left of Vijayanagar by taking Lanka and even go to the Maldives. I mean, I would love to declare war against them directly, which we can. But declaring war against Assam, then you will face Lan Na. That's of another culture. Thai culture. So, that's the plan. Now let us fight against Ava. Just checking. And if you want to become economic powerhouse, you should have full legalism for national tax modifier reasons. And we're on the verge of leveling up pretty soon. So no, I have no clue of what that next idea group should be. I'm sure I'll figure it out. We're heading this way. We're going that way. Damn, I was off positioning regarding geography. Just stand still for us. Should be no problem. Even though we took a river crossing. Get rid of them. Construction of Delhi's finished. Now the state of Upper Doab is a centralized state. State of Central Burma is centralized. State of Mughal, centralized. Reducing its governing cost. Yeah, that's what we did. You could centralize it further, but no reason to now. Because I noticed that there's room for 2 more. Go for training fields. Yeah, why not? Don't know what else is there to build with this one. Because we don't have a coast. But it would be of utmost importance to upgrade this to a fortress. Right. Got him. Capture this area, and their war is over for them, and then we'll turn our attention to these guys. These are just particularists, just leave them alone. Alright, you're in charge. What the hell is this? Listen, we don't like you, but need access. Okay, fine. We'll just hold our ground until there's an understanding. Because I am in no mood to go the long way round. Hey, you're the one with the most guns. You go over there. Fine then. Sending you to a summit. Listen, just say the war is over and we get what we want, alright? What obvious is obvious. Slow it down. Coffee and tobacco. While they are quite new to our society, the use of stimulants such as coffee and tobacco has been spread quickly. With coffee houses now a common feature from Fatehpur Sikri to Malwa, their popularity is especially marked among the Sufi orders. The novelty of these substances means that the religious establishment is divided on their proper use. Many strict legalists want us to limit their use, while others argue for caution, as both coffee and tobacco are very popular in our state. The local governor of Behsa have now turned Fatehpur Sikri, wanting to close down the local coffee houses he believes to become meeting places for dissent. Let us impose these restrictions. Are you kidding me? There's no other way? That's absurd. Hey, you're my friend. Help me with this. Take a shortcut. There we go. Much better. Save you 1,000 miles of travel. Honestly, we may have to declare war against Assam very, very soon. Actually, what's the difference? I mean, La Na is closer to here. Improved production. More innovativeness for us. Oh, now I remember. Innovativeness, yeah. That's an idea. This one. If only. Yeah, stability cost goes up, but the idea cost, or we can get the next set of ideas in a hurry. So innovative should be the next one that we should go for. Innovativeness gain, technology costs, all that good stuff. And leaders without upkeep, because we have so many armies, so I thought this would be useful to us. That's what it should be. Over in Portugal, the popularization of silk fabrics. Silk has been in high demand throughout the world since long before the Middle Ages, and its procurement was one of the driving forces behind the voyages of discovery in the East. With the greater availability of silk, both raw and woven, a demand for silk cloth in the West is soaring even higher. The price of silk has gone up. Excellent. And you know, we control 28% of the silk trade in the world. That's us. I'm sure this will cause a bit of a jump. So, it'll register by the next month. Ooh, it just jumped up again. Portugal, again. Calicos and other cotton cloths. The steady supply of Indian cottons has been a result of some big changes in European cloth consumption. Muslins, calicos, and other cotton cloths are being sold at higher and higher prices in the European markets. The price of cotton's gone up. Way up. And we do hold about 21% of the cotton trade in the world. We retain that bonus. Don't forget the dyes too. Do we have any manufactories for cotton? Because if not, then there needs to be. In fact, cotton is very common throughout the subcontinent. Let us build more of these. It gives us good income. And of course, of all the income, please remember. Wow, it jumped up. It started 580 something, now it's 630 for the monthly income, and we make 300 ducats a month. Invested. Plantations to be built all over the country. That also applies to, you know, sugar, tobacco, tea, or coca, which is coffee. That's not native here. Every little bit helps. We're into textile manufacturing now. A different kind of manufacturing. Every little bit helps. And I know there are some areas that don't even have buildings at all, and we want to help that out. We'll be sure to take down that fortification in the future. But anyways. Someone's already got one. What about the ones near here? Our old home at Sirhind. Anywhere else? That's what I'm investing on. Manufacturers, manufacturers, manufacturers. And we'll be sure to next time invest at all the remaining provinces that produces coffee. This needs some manufacturers. We'll be sure to expand the Rajput army in future. In fact, isn't the Rajput army stationed somewhere? Yes, this one. Let's give them 2 more. Again, 300 ducats a month is sanity. We make most of our money through production and so does taxation, but of course, obviously, more towards legalism. National tax modifier jumps up. Oh my goodness! Don't build it, man. We'll get our prestige up by winning wars and battles. And it's not far from Lan Na, so I think I should declare war against Assam first rather than Vijayanagar. I mean, our army is already over there, right next door, when you fight against them. So what do you prefer? Oh my goodness, I can't afford that. I would love to, but I can't. Portuguese Louisiana. Well, obviously that means now we know what America looks like. Starting to. By the way, when is our boy, yes, gonna begin his role? Unfortunately, not much of military skill, but all that. 99% war score. War's over. Ratified against Vijayanagar directly because of, well, knock the other ones out. And knock the other ones out, and then everybody's gonna go that way. They don't have much of manpower, which we can defeat them easily when we bring them en masse. course, that subscreen means you need to bring the Navy too to blockade them if they got coastal fortresses, so head to the Gulf of Tonkin. Actually, no. Wait one. I mean, obviously they're on coastal patrol, protecting their trade node. This is where you start the war. With you over there now. So, Yui and Assam. And we will have nearly full legalism, reducing the technology cost. If you want to get the next one sooner rather than later, would be ideal. But first, ooh, 5 fire, 1 shock, 4 maneuver, 2 siege. You'll be assigned to this army. Alright, ready? Imperialism, Casablanca. South Kanara is their new capital there. Well, not for long. Sure, our friends won't be coming because Britain is still at war. I mean, we can't get some money off of them despite the fact that we have a great income right now. But what are you worried about, hmm? They got 2 heavy ships. Okay. Meanwhile, at the same time, Ava is ours. We're not here to take any of that land. Meaning you gotta get a separate piece. Not here to pillage your capital. So that means you'll be going down this way then. Actually, wait one. Because once you enter that territory, you know, you might get, your army might become exiled. Taking this position. Speaking of position, move on. Only captured 1 night ship, sunk the rest. We're about to catch that last one. Guess they were in the middle of drilling. Hang on. Moving lock. We'll get rid of them very soon. Just what I want to hear from you. Guess all the land and all the money you got. enough to core these for. But it's better start building up these. Oh, and one thing I forgot. Despite the fact that I've been spending a lot on manufacturers because we want to have higher income. There's a new institution. Enlightenment. Yes, Delhi is the birthplace of the Enlightenment. It's already present in some areas, but we need a lot of money, but we want to spread the institution first, which we'll worry about that later. You've also taken a pretty decently developed territory. It's got gems. It's got cotton. But doesn't have manufactories. It's got a workshop. No, you don't. Develop it once, and then we can start talking. Once it's fully cored, obviously. Which it'll be done by next year. You got it. Burmese are fully assimilated. Shaheta Gongzal Bay. Cut them off. What troops during an exercise? This is no time for this. We've reached a new level of professionalism. Reduced morale damage taken by reserves. Good. Well, it's up to you. Don't go that way. Let them handle it. Take the capital. Take Mysore. North and South Carnatic. In Great Britain, they have selective breeding. There is scientific and very aggressive breeding of horses, pigs, cows, and sheep. Siege is over. The British farmers have begun to create entirely new types of animals for more specialized and for the various tasks they ought to perform. For centuries, various regions have famous breeds of livestock, and with the new methods now being pioneered, it's become evident how easy for man to create specific improvements in the animals. As a result, the cattle trade is being revitalized, with a drastic increase in the quality of sold animals rather than just the quantity of the animals sold. Price of livestock's gone up. And of course, over in Hindustan, there's no shortage of livestock here. Build some farm estates, and then we can talk. Everything that's gonna give us much in value. You're going down this way. They're out there. Lost their will to fight. Outgun them. Remain in that position. Malabar. This is an easy task, gentlemen. Where are you from? Oh, down there. No rush. You got it. I had to count them. That is their capital, yes, sir. See to if we can knock them out of the war. They're on the run, or we cannot go to Lanka. I desire no territory from Assam. Not interested in Tibetan land. Did him a favor. Slowly, bit by bit. Alright, come on back down there. Let's go kill these guys. Assam is out of the war, basically. Reason why we still have that army there on standby is because of separatists, which isn't likely gonna happen. Last piece of territory. Production efficiency. Can't promote them, not an accepted culture, but it'll change when we take, how many territories that are not in Kannada culture yet with us? Just these here and Mysore. The Karnataka will join the Mughal Empire, whether they like it or not. I have realized that we do not use that many sailors on missions because we sent the whole fleet out of what we plan on doing, which is blockading. That's a mission. Well, get it done. Wait for it. Now, yeah. Well, we'll catch them. They were already states, so it's fine. Well, what is not fine is some of the more, you know, valuable areas, particularly these two here. You ain't got no manufactory. Don't even have a university. Do you? Let me see. Just this once. Another star was supposed to show up. Capital's not fallen yet. Defensive ideas, that's why. Finally. Now come back. Long way. Despite the fact that war enthusiasm is high. Well, occupy the rest that you see out there. Make him submit. Gonna need you over here. Just won that big battle over here. Now you ain't feeling it now. Okay, forget that plan. Just come back home. Yeah. 2 stones of 1 bird. No pillaging. But that's a lot of money. Not to mention reparations. That I'm happy with. Now, Assam. War reparations, no pillage. Tyrannical nobles. Yipe. Lose a bit of loyalty or lose that base tax and for them to be more loyal to us. What good would that do? Chastise the landowner. I'll get that loyalty down for once. Despite the fact they've been good to us. Okay, now we have access to Lanka. Invade. Meet up in Madurai. Get back. Okay, now they're backing off. Very well then. You'll be heading down this way to South Lanka. You'll be taking the north. And just be there to support them. Got it? Just think they feel safe from it? No, we're gonna punish them. Wherever they hide. Good on you. cut them all. Let's teach them a lesson that they'll never forget. We sunk their flagship. There's your prestige. We only captured one transport out of that. Now please return to the port. Because you need repairs and we need sailors to recover. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we're in the age of revolutions. The questioning of rights, authority, and the world itself during the Enlightenment has led to rejection of the ancient regime, as absolutism gives way to revolution kingdoms and may have to make place for republics. We still have the absolutism mechanics, which we have a good degree of absolutism, but I give most of these privileges to the ones I care the most in order to reduce that. Quite honestly, I forgot about this. Okay. Fortify. Improve relations of Khorasan. For the giants. Manufacture in Penukonda. Of course. For the manufacturers of Penukonda. Which that name is familiar to me, but I tend to forget where. Oh, we're already building one here. Of course. Alright, everybody, go home. The Ottomans tell us of absolutism. With slavery now banned in the Ottoman Empire, and other countries are likely to follow suit, it seems the transatlantic slave trade will be seeing a sharp decline. You know, the first European country, I believe, that ever banned slavery was the Republic of Ragusa. Alright, Navy, send home. There's sailors to be returned to the... Okay. My sword, for starters. That completes one mission. And if you want the Kanadaga to join you, get all of these. And then start to work your way down. Here, 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 here. I think we may stop short because... Yeah, way short. So basically, definitely the coastal areas. Taking as much land as anybody could imagine. There'll be no coalition, obviously. And very little money out of that. Because we still make our great income by any means anyhow. Definite big gains. Of course, the overextension is dangerously high. Able to get them all. But beware. There's going to be a rebellion around here if we're not careful. And possible for some other areas. Especially down here. But the mission is complete. Conquer Central Deccan. So we will gain a general with 80 tradition. And the Mughals will get solid markets and polygon recruitment for the next 30 years. Increasing our yearly army tradition, as well as the goods produced modifier, or plus 10. Adding more to the value. If we could control the rest of the Madura and Kongu areas, the reward will be even better. But obviously we have too many military leaders. Southern India is a vast region separated by mountains and jungles in the north, making it difficult to rule efficiently. We must devise an administrative measure capable of handling direct rule into such a large realm. Which Viceroy for the Deccan question is to happen, which we'll answer that a little later. But for now, please return home. The Telugu people and the Kannada people are fully assimilated now. Time to promote you. That's because I really need more administrative skill to, since we just cored all of these, now we need to get them back fast. Gotta make ready for trade efficiency, production efficiency, great income. Not to mention, start improving these centers of trade once they're fully cored. Because of all the areas we controlled, it's the Bengal that has the most trade value node. Again, we're currently building manufactories all over the place, so trade value will no doubt keep going up. And the areas we've taken? Yes, it's Gakhan, and a lot of cloth, and even silk too. You have taken some very rich territory. And these areas will be fully cored in about a year. And get to spending. And of course, worry about this far later. Don't want to embrace it now. I'm more interested in all things income. Until it's fully cored, but we may have a rebellion in our hands. This general here we got is 6 fire, 2 shock, 2 maneuver, 2 siege. Very, very well. We're going to start drilling some of them soon again. And of course, when our monarch grows up, he'll be a general too to drill another army. $100% legal. Be careful out there. Many military duties are not performed by the professional armies of the crown, but rather by local militias based around the cities, castles, and forts in the various parts of our country. These militias often know the local area and provide very good value for money as garrisons, scouts, and gatherers of intelligence, but their quality as regular troops are varied, to say the least. It has been suggested that we send professional soldiers to at least instruct all militias in the country, that we rely less on them when conducting operations in many areas. This would, according to our generals, lead to increases in quality and make us less vulnerable to things we cannot control on a great number of our reserve troops. This will do. Let us not rely on local abilities, as we are the army of infinite, one would think. But, however, new innovation, royal mortar. There's time. Replacing a coal mortar is the royal mortar. Does a lot better in fire. During the 18th century, the use of artillery on the battlefield became more widespread. The troops were now able to move their field guns with much more ease and speed. So everybody drill. Kasai. No. We got our own issues. Still in the works. Slow down. Under Islamic law, non-Muslims faced a number of restrictions on the construction of new buildings and in urban centers. Their houses were not to be taller than those of the Muslims, and they were not permitted to construct new centers of worship, only to maintain those which already existed. In practice, these rules often went unenforced. But as our realm shifts toward a legalistic interpretation of Islam, key members of the Islam are beginning to call for their restrictive implementation. This should make the Islam loyal to us, but the Brahmins not so much. Hey, are you done? No, you're not. It's gonna be till winter. Just try to hold on because you know what they're like down there. Can choose to extend Regency for another 5 years. Yeah, I tend to forget that you could do that, but since it's at a person where it's like, yeah, it's good on these two, but, well, 4 is good, 3 is average, 0 is nada. But what are you gonna do, huh? Merchants assassinated. Some countries are apparently so appalled by our foreign policy. Oh my goodness. They decided to retaliate by assassinating our merchants and attempt to strike our finances. What's even more shocking that happens even our own trade notes. Heads will roll. Hopefully not mine. For 10 years. That's in Burma. The state of constant war has eroded our economy and now inflation is spiraling out of control. Try minting more coins. But we do have a solution for it. Calm down, will ya? The rebellion is not going to happen under our watch. And we are going to invest in more textile manufactories unless those previous owners have already built it. Obviously, these will be states because they're in Hindustan. There you go. Hold on. There's gonna be a few more. Yeah, everybody's calming down now, especially that one. Well, not quite that one. But we'll deal with them in future. And now, Koromo. Got him. They'll settle down now. Alright, let's take a look. Each of these cloths. Does any of them have textile manufactories? You do not. So in that case, university, so we can develop it later. This one does. But what you should really look at is areas of centers of trade. Not only manufacture, but also upgrade each and every one of them. We'll make that up. This one does not have a textile manufactory. Upgrade him. Home of another center of trade. This has a textile manufactory. In that case, get a counting house. This has a textile manufactory. Okay. But I'd be willing to build a university here as well. You know what, same goes for this one. This has a textile manufactory. University, therefore. Does not have a textile manufactory. University. And have center trade upgraded. Do that in a second. Has textile manufactory. University. Built that. So we can add more counting houses. For increased income in production. That's why. Of course, textile manufacture for the silk. No manufactories here. So I have a plantation there. All right. This will help you with the development cost, including institution spread, and added even more trade power to this area. Meanwhile, over there, home of spices. Hey, look, coffee. I thought coffee isn't native around here, but apparently there is one. In fact, this is the only coffee here in all of Hindustan. Of course, in case you didn't realize it, if you don't remember, Hindustan's an alternate name for India. It's used by people who speak Hindi and Urdu and the like. We'll have a plantation for this one. Even though the coffee isn't really that valuable because of dissemination of the coffee plant. North Kanar needs a manufactory. Build it. Well, we'll develop that further, then we could start talking. It's got a counting house, but no manufacturing. In fact, any building around here that does not have a counting house will be upgraded. Which I could see a few of that right now. Yeah, there's room. The ones that give us more of that income. And then you stop right there. Don't send these ships anywhere anymore because those sailors need to start regaining them bit by bit. And of course, when the economy lowers itself naturally, then we'll be making a lot more great value of it. Trade power is 55. Okay, compare that. So we collect this much from the Deccan, but the trade value isn't great. We're not making much out of Burma, even though the trade power has been lowered. Do have it present in Coromandel, which will make a lot more. Bengal too. In fact, of the entire world, what is the most valuable? Persia. And Bengal's only second. Expanding westward to Persia is still rather tempting to me. Of course. So our total income is this much. Still raw. Almost 700. But we're building more manufactories and more counting houses. My goodness. India is becoming a very, very industrial. Man, it's amazing how we do things around here. Sure. Because we're still friends. Allies. Truce is no, it has not expired for Tuangu. That'll be till 3 years. We do need to rest. The new Padishah is here. That means all that legalism went away. Well, let's aim to change that. Can't adopt the title of Khalifa because I don't have the military skill for it. Fertile. My goodness. You don't have a family yet, but... oh, that'll change soon. And of course, always pick that option. It lowers the autonomy faster and it gives you more, you know, that tax increase. There's your total income. Since you kept looking that way, this is what this is for. Obviously. We're still of an Afghan dynasty for the longest time. The universities and the counting houses are about to be finished very soon. And you're about to see another big jump in the total income. Oh my, 6 diplomacy, but one administrative, but there's still 0 diplomacy. That's not good. Call you Murad Shah. Oh, that's worse. Just. Anyways, go back to the total income. You're about to reach 700, so watch. The counting houses are about to be finished. No need for another military leader. Also, I want to point it myself. $698. And in a year, a bunch of plantations will be finished. And we just got more ducats. And don't forget those universities you also built further south where you could develop it further and build more of these manufactories. Like a few more textile manufactories. $700. 300 more and we will become the economic hegemon. I believe I can do this. This is going to be the major goal for this series. The last major goal for the Mughals series. Even though we're still bound by missions, so controlling the Coromandel coast and that coast and Lanka as well. Man, it makes me want to break that truce right now and take the rest. But of course that aggressive expansion is already there. It makes me want to go out and do it right now. What? Patience. No, we will not be patient. Declare war on Assam and then you can put your focus, you know, take all these lands and Lanka. I think it's going to take one last war to deal with them. And as for the Maldives, who's the owner? Are they Dravidians that live there? Yes. So I'll have to invade them at sea too. And keep that well in mind. Assimilating all of the Dravidian people, you'll have more goods produced modifier. And taking the Sinhalese people down there, you will complete the Eastern Islands, which adds more production efficiency, all that great income that you wanted for so long. And of course, eventually the Burman's culture, when we take this area up there, which will give us another leader of upkeep, since we have so many armies out there. And also we plan on expanding some. Because with the Age of Revolutions, we are an empire. We have a very large capital. But we do not have a parliament. We do own one institution which came from here. We don't have the high discipline, nor do we have a powerful subject with this much development. So our splendor gain will be a little slow, but we have the Taj Mahal. So that makes up for it. Again, we're a very large army, but we need a little more guns. And you'll get guns. So we plan on enlarging it a little. This old army that used to play support, well, not for long. Yeah, we're enlarging the military again because we have the income to do it. I would like to expand the Navy too, but obviously there's limitations to that. Unless you want to take more to the coast. Ignore them. Penokanda. Where's that again? Oh, here. No, that's Golconda, dummy. Know your areas. It's this one. About to spend it soon on some areas that needs to be developed. Here comes these new army units. Yes, I know. We'll spend it very soon. Let's develop the areas that are in need. Okay, it's got him. Hey, Britishman, you got money? No, they don't. A helping hand. One of the most famous and respected masons has approached Dawa Baktash This morning, stating his concerns about the state of the monument in Harat. The body shell breaks my heart to see such a beautiful structure as abandoned, left to face a long dangerous time. What I beg you, allow me to help restore it. You know, we can't use that because that's a Buddhist monument. Okay, it's full, it's time. Okay, let's begin. Okay. Now you can upgrade this. Trade station. It's got a plantation. This one does not. Neither does this. There's some value in cotton because of the calicos. Good to know. There's some value in iron. Do any of them have weapons manufacturers? It does, it does. This does not. This does not either. Have to develop these for future reference. You got it. This does not. We got to catch up. Okay, it has it. Not much higher now, the further we expand that we go. Now, anything else does it need? There's only two do we own this area? Yes. There's some value in sugar. It's got a plantation, okay. Make it sure. Have to develop this more. Because it needs a manufactory. Because there's plenty of value in cloths. May not look like it now, but still. Anyone that do not have textile manufacturers, they'll be developed. Should have used that earlier, had I known about it. Oh yeah, this is going to be developed a lot higher. We can make it a world port, which gives you a possible number of buildings increased. There you go. This doesn't have a manufactory. Develop it. Sure, why not? Also, I noticed there's a bunch of buildings that could be upgraded to great mosques, but they do not produce as much money, except for, you know, Ajmer. You know, the most developed place that we ever really paid attention to, so that'll be the exception. Because of the base tax. That we've really jumped it up there. You don't have a manufacturer. Well, son of a beeswax. Silk. Don't you know how valuable this is? You already have a university there, and yet you didn't. You're spending the remaining military power of this one. Rest for diplomacy. Come on. You got it. You see? Anywhere else? No, textile manufacturing. Okay, we spent it all. Well done. It's how much we make now, but of course some of that income was due to the development we just increased. And the plantations are about to be finished, so have a look at that total income change. Watch. Jumped up a bit more, and base production in Penokanda in addition. And local goods produced modifier also helps a bit of it. Okay, you got your... No. Now look again. Up here. Don't have no manufactory. This one does. This does. You got it. Mm-hmm. Yes, sir. This one doesn't. Obviously, here and here have manufacturers. This does not. This does. This doesn't. Crud. Okay, wait 1 month, and then we'll be able to build a university. No need to develop it further. What's the value in dyes? Good, actually. Boy, I've become a venture capitalist, have I? I never built this much buildings. Matter of fact, I don't think I ever built this much manufactories all at once at one point. We're just trying to find ways to pass the time to make a lot of money until truces expire. And our next big war won't be until next year against Twangu. To assimilate another culture. And we also have to be fighting against them, which is the... They're still weakened. Hold on, what is this? The city-state of Habsan. Versions seem to diverge on exactly how it happened. Some say they came in the dark. Some say that they hid in big boxes disguised as gifts. Somehow the commander of our coastal forces managed to lose control of both his island fort and the entire region under his control at the same time. The perpetrators are a group of cities. Former slaves of Ethiopian origin have become quite a common sight in the navies and armies of this region. The leader of the city sent an emissary to our court today, asking that we allow them to stay in control of the fort and be taken in return to their loyal service to the state. huh. Make it a march or declare war. That's my fort. That's very important to us. No. No, no, no. Put him down. How dare they? Deal with them. Send in the Rajputs. They got no army. Strike them all we got. Deploy the fleet. Gotcha. Not for long. We want to keep full control of everything. So we're taking it back. That's a core province. Oh, and by the way, since they declared war directly on me, that means you have basically declared war against the British, Kardel, Kam, Yakan. Basically, when somebody dares declare war against me. Give it to me. And all the money you got. Nobody will separate us anymore. Damn these bastards, they ruined the fort. Oh, by the way, no manufactory, therefore university. We're gonna have to start to work on that again. As you were. Now we got our trade efficiency back. Real question is, should we really fight against them? They are rebuilding their forces. They're barely an entity that mattered. And we know how hard we fought against each and every one of them. Oh, but we have the ability. We've enlarged ourselves. And all that. But one thing is for certain. I'll stop the episode once the universities and that great mosque is built. And then we'll start having a look at the provinces that we were developing on. When we were looking at, well, it's not just the gems, but it's also areas with sugar. No, damn it. You're supposed to look at areas that includes silk. The ones with silk are the areas that has to be developed. This is 626. And we're not quite full on the full legalism yet for more tax income. Even though it's gone down a bit because of what we did recently and all that. But still, it's very much worth it. Before we leave this episode, that I will say this, let the University of Lahore be finished. And it will use the monarch points in the next episode to develop the country further. Truce is expired. And all that. While we still have not yet embraced the institution, which has been spreading pretty well, but needs to spread more so we can have a reduced price while I continue to invest for more and more income and all that. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. as we will look at the statistics here. We have the largest army in the world, we have the most provinces, highest province value, highest income, but second highest in trade income, which will never outcompete the British in the trade. I mean, the trade income to us is just, it's kind of like whatever to us. Knowing these manufacturers will help increase the trade value of the areas we hold. Plus, the mercantilism that we have here is very, very weak. Because we're not really a trade-intensive empire. But nonetheless. Even though the value of Bengal had gone down recently. And Persia remains up at the top. But still, it's been a very good experience for this episode. But I think I will make a bold prediction. Due to where we will expand next, you know, with these missions such as the Upper Burma campaign. And then we go to Ajuda, Dandanamalkan. So, places where areas are much, much more developed. That would definitely be a big boon for us. But only issue is that governing capacity, in which we kind of will have this idea that we can reduce some of the development. Like when we take this area, pillaging is not going to be the way, but rather do this option of concentrate development to bring that development back to our capital here. This area here. Or alternatively, expand administration, which of course that provides very little. Yeah, it's not gonna be until level 27. Oh, that'll be... You'll get there soon. If you can get this, obviously. So, bold prediction. By the end of this century, the Mughal Empire will become an economic hegemon. We will not be a naval hegemon, because we can't afford that. Military, however, not quite. So we're going to stick with this. I'll only be content with economic hegemon, which will be the next major goal for this part of the series. Basically be the... I mean, you are already the highest income country in the world, and we'll finally close it with the income comparison in total. More than Great Britain. Richest country in the world, basically. And we invested very heavily. So that's what makes the Mughals series unique to it itself, compared to Croatia. Croatia decides to be a global trade empire on that series of mine. And here in the Mughals, we're mainly a land empire, but also we don't make most of our income through trade, but rather through production and taxation due to high legalism and all other means. And of course, we do make money through trade by building more manufactories to have more local goods produced and all that. That's the reason why this next episode, as we plan on going to war against them and fight another hard war with them. So we have to get our armies into position. And they're bringing the Navy back in action again, and all that and more. The next episode for the Mughal Empire. And until then, so long for now.